Huh? Ah, you mean this? My brand new plaything.
In the year 633, an old man stands in a destroyed village, crying as he seems to be the only one left alive. He goes into the forest hoping to bring wizards together for protection. This is how he created the first wizard guild ever. In the present day, Max introduces 3 new members to the Fairy Tale Guild. One of them starts yapping about how powerful he is, but Laxus easily knocks him out. He starts crying like a baby and runs away. The other recruit also runs away crying. The last recruit stays and tells them she joined the guild because she likes Natsu, who saved her from bandits before. However, Makarov tells her that Natsu isn't around because he and his team are on a 100-year quest. On the continent of Gilton, they encounter snow-like ether nano as they get closer to the ancient wizard guild Magia Dragon. Lucy remembers that Gildarts had failed in his attempt at this quest. A quick flashback shows Natsu telling Gildarts he will finish the quest because he has the power of friendship and plot armor. When the group enters the empty guild, they are shocked to find a dragon above them. The dragon introduces himself as the 99th hero, revealing that he is the law dragon Elefsiria and the one who gave them the 100-year quest. Urza asks Elefsiria why there are no other people in the guild. The dragon explains that he is the only one left because the other members died a long time ago and newer wizards prefer joining more modern guilds. Natsu then realizes that Elefsiria is actually human, which the dragon confirms by changing into the form of an old wizard. He praises them for noticing the truth and reveals that he taught himself to be a dragon slayer. Like Acnologia, his powers turned him into a dragon. Elefsiria then warns them about the quest's dangers, as almost everyone who took it never returned and even Gildarts barely survived. Despite the warning, they confirm they are ready to take the risk. Back at the Fairy Tale Guild, Tuka criticizes Juvia for not believing that Gray will return while expressing her own love for Natsu. Juvia tries to discourage her by listing several other female wizards who are close to Natsu, which leads Tuka to do the same with Gray. As they argue, Gajeel notices Tuka mentioning Briar, which is a cultist from Avatar. Meanwhile, Elefsiria asks the wizards to sign a contract agreeing to the terms of the quest, and to keep the 100-year quest a secret. Lucy hesitates at first, but remembers Virgo hinting that she might see Aquarius in Giltina, so she asks for more details about the quest after signing. Elefsiria then reveals that they need to seal away the 5 dragon gods who are as powerful as Acnologia. The old dragon sees them as his last hope for completing the quest and smiles at their eagerness. In the Valeria region of southern Giltina, Wendy saves Natsu and Lucy from jellyfish that got into their mouths. The 5 dragon gods stayed hidden, and only a few members of the Magic Council knew about them. Although they usually avoid getting involved in world affairs, Elefsiria was concerned about the destruction they could cause, so he learned Dragon Slayer magic to seal them away. However, he couldn't succeed on his own, so he created a quest to find other wizards who could help. Elefsiria then guides them to the harbor of Ermina, where the people once practiced a religion worshipping Merkphobia, the water dragon god. As they travel, Lucy wonders about the quest reward, which Elefsiria said would be granting them any one wish they desired. Meanwhile in Magnolia, Gajeel shares his concerns about Tuka with Lily, Juvia, and Levi after she mentions Briar. He suggests they investigate their new guildmate. Juvia is eager to do this, but Levi is hesitant and doesn't like the idea of doubting a fellow member. When Team Natsu arrives at the town, they start searching for a place to stay, unaware that a mysterious man and woman are watching them. The woman refers to the man as the water god. The team checks into a hotel and finds a fish flopping around. Happy was disappointed when the fish transforms into a human form and introduces itself as Kashima, the hotel manager and receptionist. Before going out on a date, Kashima tells the fairy tale wizards they must drink the beverages provided in their rooms, warning them that not doing so could mean they won't survive their stay. At night, Gray wakes up to find that the hotel is completely underwater. Team Natsu enjoys themselves exploring the area and interacting with the local fish, while Urza even has a competition with a shark named Sharkina. Kashima explains that the town sinks daily at high tide, and the potion they drank allows them to breathe underwater and swim better. A random fish steals Lucy's clothes. Their fun is interrupted when Gray asks about Merkphobia's location. The fish become hostile and declare their loyalty to their water god. To avoid trouble, The group decides to leave, but the townsfolk chase after them. In Magnolia, Gajeel and Juvia continue to investigate Tuka and notice a striped tail under her dress, which quickly disappears. Tuka seems unaware and continues chatting with other fairy tale members. Lily sees the tail too, but Levy remains doubtful. At the Sabertooth Guild, their new member Serrano excitedly praises her sister Yukino as Jalal arrives and is greeted by Sting and Rogue. When they ask why Jalal is there, he explains he's looking for someone and asks the Sabertooth wizards to let him know if they find her. Jalal reveals his target is Tuka and warns them not to confront her. While on the run in Ermina, Team Natsu hides in an empty alleyway. Although Natsu is determined to fight Mercphobia and his followers, Lucy argues that the fish didn't seem evil and suggests finding a peaceful way to handle the situation rather than attacking. After convincing the group to avoid an aggressive approach, Lucy uses Gemini's magic to transform them into fish. The team goes out to investigate, and Gray encounters Kashima, who doesn't recognize Gray's new form. Gray asks about the humans who were looking for Mercphobia, and Kashima reveals that they will be sacrificed to the water god. Meanwhile, Natsu picks up a human scent, and they discover a woman chained up in a cell. The woman suddenly speaks and recognizes them as humans and warns them to keep their distance. At that moment, the water dragon arrives, causing the woman to break free and cut open her cage. She battles the sea serpent and reveals that she had let herself be captured to confront the water dragon. Using a dragon slayer technique, she defeats the serpent easily and eats its remains. However, she soon realizes that the creature she fought wasn't the real water dragon and is disappointed to have been tricked. The woman turns to the trio and asks them to entertain her, then starts to attack them. She recognizes his scent as that of a dragon slayer and explains that she is a dragon eater from the 5th generation, which is people who gain their powers by eating dragons. Kyria introduces herself and mentions Diabolos, a guild made up entirely of these 5th generation dragon slayers. Kyria then asks if they plan to confront the water dragon god. Natsu tries to attack her but realizes he can't use his fire underwater. This leads Lucy to step in and fight Kyria, only for Kyria to tear apart her star dress. Kyria is about to attack, but Gray intervenes and stops her with his ice magic. Kashima is surprised by Gray's deception and reveals that the creature Kyria had fought earlier was actually a messenger of the water dragon god. She breaks free from the ice prison, and Gray somehow loses his clothes. Urza tries to strike Kyria from above, but she is stopped by Madmole, the armored dragon slayer. Madmole told her to return to the guild, but Kyria refuses and chooses to wait for Mercphobia instead. The water dragon arrives, splitting the ocean. As Mercphobia descends into the split ocean, he insists that anyone with bad intentions towards him should leave. Suddenly, Black Ash forcibly teleports the 2 Diabolos mages away. Natsu explains to Mercphobia that they are there to seal 5 dragons. Mercphobia reveals that he was once attacked by assassins sent by the Law Dragon to capture him. Recognizing Team Natsu's peaceful intentions, Mercphobia invites them to his temple. During the tour, the Water Dragon shows off various underwater facilities designed to help the people of Ermina Town, including a watchtower to spot shipwreck survivors. The wizards thought Mercphobia was a nice person until he admits that he killed many humans until he met Caramel, a human girl he grew fond of. Although he feels content now, Mercphobia confesses that his powers have become uncontrollable, causing the town to sink. He asks the fairy tale mages to kill him to save the townspeople, but wants to correct his biggest mistake first. On the Diabolos ship, Kyria was upset that her boss forced her to retreat. She demands an explanation from Skull Ion, who simply claims that Mercphobia is a fake water dragon. Meanwhile, at the Blue Pegasus Guild, Ichiya and the Trimans greet a visiting Jalal. The Trimans started to glaze Jalal and said they wanted to call him Big Bro.
Ha! Gay!
However, Jalal was only interested in Tuka's location. He decides to leave since they can't help him and warns them to stay away from Tuka. Meanwhile, Gajeel, Juvia, and Lily continue to stalk Tuka. Levy tries to convince them to stop, but storms off in frustration after arguing with Gajeel. The group continue to follow Tuka, only to find out she lives next door to Lucy. She takes off her clothes, but Juvia covers Gajeel's eyes so he can't see her cake. He gets upset, and they fall off the building. Levy comes by and gets jealous after seeing Gajeel on Juvia in a weird position. In Ermina, the water dragon reveals that he needs to regain his powers, which have been taken by a mage known as the White Wizard. He explains that he intends to use his magic to restore Ermina to its former state, and Natsu agrees to help. Their conversation is interrupted when Skullion, Kiria, and Madmole arrive. They overhear the discussion and decide to hunt down the White Wizard to steal the water dragon's magic for themselves. Jalal turns to Kagura for help finding Tuka. Kagura quickly recognizes Tuka as the newest member of Fairy Tail and questions a surprised Jalal about her identity. He reveals that Tuka is actually the infamous White Wizard who has been alive for over 100 years and possesses magic power that rivals Xeros. Merkphobia gets angry and demands that the Diabolos mages leave his palace. Skullion then restrains Merkphobia and tells him that he is a weak loser. Natsu tries to attack, but Skullion easily dodges his attacks by turning into ash. Gray tries to freeze him, but he runs away. Natsu pushes Madmole to the surface using his fire magic. He then tries to punch Madmole, but his attacks had to effect. Madmole throws him onto their ship where he gets motion sickness. Meanwhile, Urza and Kiria have a fight each other, but they were evenly matched. As usual, they stop fighting and start yapping. Kiria sends a shockwave toward Urza, who initially appears unaffected. Suddenly, Urza feels embarrassed about her bikini outfit and becomes intimidated by Kiria's threatening glare. Urza starts begging for her life, and Kiria reveals that she has cut away Urza's strength. Now defenseless, Urza is tormented by Kiria until Wendy attacks with her dragon force, but she easily dodges. Kiria launches a huge attack which destroys the room. Meanwhile, Gray battles Skullion, who turns all his attacks into ash. Gray then activates his demon power and freezes Skullion. However, he easily breaks free from the ice and launches a huge attack. Gray uses his demon power to freeze the entire sea to stop his attack. Skullion then attacks Gray with his magic. In Magnolia, Jalal approaches Tuka in the streets and addresses her as the White Wizard. Tuka acts innocent and claims she joined Fairy Tail because of her sweet Natsu. However, Jalal isn't convinced and explains that she created the rebellious cult and their goal is to turn the world into white nothingness. He also explained that she stole her magic from the water dragon and links her to recent cases of magic deficiency disease, where several wizards died from having their magic drained. Just as Jalal is about to attack her, Laxus steps in and defends Tuka. Laxus said he will protect Tuka regardless of what her past is because she's family. On the Diabolos ship, the Dragon Eaters are keeping Urza, Natsu, and Wendy as captives. Kiria continues to torment Urza, calling her a pet and holding her by a leash. Kiria takes Urza to Natsu and Wendy where Urza begs for their life, but Kiria spanks and sits on her and says she will be merciful. Meanwhile, Lucy, Happy, and Carla are sent away on a boat by Caramel, who is upset about the injuries Merkphobia sustained in the battle. The trio soon encounters another boat where they find Brandish. She gives Lucy a tiny Gray, explaining that she shrunk him after sensing the danger during the fight with Diabolos. Lucy asks Brandish about her purpose in Giltina, and she replies that she has come with a specific goal. She explains the aftermath of the Alvarez Empire after the battle with Fairy Tail, mentioning the disbandment of the Spriggan 12 and Ajeel's rise as the country's emperor. Although Brandish doesn't hold any grudge against the Fairy Tail mages, she refuses to help them, stating that she is looking for Aquarius Key for herself. Lucy is upset by this, but chooses to focus on her guildmate's safety. Brandish leaves and turns Gray back to normal, but Juvia could feel that something was wrong. Meanwhile in Magnolia, Jalal reflects on his conversation with Laxus, where Jalal told Laxus he will stay in Magnolia to watch Tuka. He wonders about her membership in Fairy Tail and questions whether she is really the White Wizard. Meanwhile on the Diabolos ship, an angry Urza breaks free from Kiria's influence and frees Natsu and Wendy from their restraints. She explains that the Blade Dragon Slayer used a hypnotic spell targeting the eyes, but her artificial eye reduced its effects. However, they can't fight due to Natsu and Wendy's motion sickness. Suddenly, Brandish passes by and stops the ship by enlarging an underwater rock. Urza confronts Kiria in her room to get revenge for what she did. Meanwhile, Natsu and Wendy face Skullion, with Wendy using her wind magic to blow away the Dragon Eaters, allowing Natsu to attack him. Back in Magnolia at the guild, Tuka expresses her gratitude to Laxus, but Gajeel notices a hidden malicious grin on her face during their conversation. Tuka quickly shifts the topic by blaming Juvia for the rainy weather. However, Laxus interrupts her and says that he will protect her only if she's honest with him. Meanwhile, on the Diablo's ship, Urza continues to fight Kiria while they have a no jutsu battle. In a hotel room, Jalal is confronted by Tuka, who confirms his accusations and declares him an obstacle in her way. Jalal asks the White Wizard about her membership in Fairy Tail. She reveals that her intention is to eliminate the guild because of their strong magic power. Ignoring Jalal's argument, she tries to steal his magic but suddenly collapses in pain. Tuka then begs Jalal to run away, revealing her personality shift between Tuka and the White Wizard. Suddenly, Gajeel knocks her out from behind, accompanied by Lily, Juvia, and Levi, who realize Gajeel was right. Jalal realizes that Tuka and the White Wizard are two personalities within the same body and wonders how to handle the situation. Meanwhile, on the Diablo's ship, Urza continues her fight with Kiria, who manages to break Urza's blade. However, Urza explains that Wendy had previously enchanted Dragon Slayer magic into her katana, revealing a new magical blade in place of the shattered one. Meanwhile, Natsu trades blows with Madmole, using his heat to overwhelm the Dragon Eater and successfully burn through his armor. Natsu and Wendy reunite with Lucy, Carla, Gray, and Happy. At Scullion's command, Madmole is able to stand back up despite being burned by Natsu's attack. Meanwhile, Urza puts on her plot armor and hits Kiria, sending them both crashing through the ship's deck. Skullion teleports Kiria to his side and acknowledges the strength of the Fairy Tail mages. Natsu assures him that they will protect Mercphobia from Skullion. Skullion then reveals that their guild has more members than just the 3 Dragon Eaters and promises to show their full power. They teleport away, and their ship crumbles into ash. Urza explains that it was created with molding magic. The Fairy Tail mages decide to head back to the Water Dragon God's temple, though Carla is a bit nervous because of Caramel's earlier anger. At the temple, the Water Dragon God suddenly wakes up and grabs Caramel by the neck while telling her to escape. Team Natsu arrives at Ermina by boat and finds Mercphobia causing chaos at the harbor. Caramel approaches them and explains that she had asked the White Wizard to take away the Water Dragon God's powers, hoping it would allow him to live a normal life. However, she later learned that the White Wizard had only limited Mercphobia's magic temporarily and could restore it to full strength at any moment. Before these events, Tuka wakes up in the guild hall where Jalal and the other Fairy Tail mages question her. She explains that she joined the guild hoping Wendy could remove the White Wizard from her body. However, the White Wizard takes control of Tuka again, breaking her restraints and restoring Mercphobia's magic to full strength. Seeing the Water Dragon God's state, Caramel pleads with the Dragon Slayers to put Mercphobia to rest. Natsu scolds Caramel for involving the White Wizard and refuses to kill Mercphobia, but Urza stops him and Carla reminds him of his promise to protect the team. Natsu reluctantly agrees, and Wendy enchants their team with Dragon Slayer magic as they launch powerful attacks at Mercphobia. However, the dragon remains unharmed and raises the entire ocean above Ermina. Meanwhile, in Magnolia, the White Wizard sits among the defeated Fairy Tail mages. Mercphobia launches a powerful water attack on the harbor, which destroys the town. Natsu flies up to face the Water Dragon God and attacks with his dragon roar, but Mercphobia easily puts out the flames and traps them both in a massive wave. The rest of the team tries to hurt the dragon, but their attacks fail. Natsu jumps onto Mercphobia, torn about fighting him but determined to win. However, Mercphobia cancels out his magic and creates a huge vortex that pulls Natsu in. Suddenly, a dragon hand reaches out from the vortex, grabbing Natsu as a mysterious voice declares he won't let Mercphobia take the Fairy Tail mage. The Fairy Tail mages watch in awe as a red dragon appears from Mercphobia's vortex. The red dragon questions Mercphobia about his erratic behavior, but Mercphobia is beyond reasoning. The dragon then lets go of Natsu, encouraging him not to give up and brushing off any questions about his identity. He remarks that Mercphobia haven't even used his full power yet. The fire dragon reveals his true nature by setting the buildings in the harbor ablaze. Merkphobia tries to put out the fires by bringing rain from the sea, but the red dragon boldly claims his flames are powerful enough to burn even water. When Natsu complains about the destruction, the fire dragon urges him to consume the flames to put them out. He then tells Natsu he won't help him in the fight, declaring his intent to make Natsu strong enough to be a worthy opponent. Transforming into human form, he introduces himself as Ignea, one of the 5 dragon gods and Igneal's son. Ignea admits he never met his father nor cared about his death. He explains that he and other dragons hid from Acnologia nearly 400 years ago, and over time, the 5 dragon gods of Giltina grew even stronger than Acnologia. Frustrated that he never got to test his power against Acnologia, Ignea is disappointed by Natsu's current strength. To push Natsu to become stronger, he threatens the lives of his friends. This enrages Natsu, who attacks him, but Ignea remains unfazed and promises to face him again someday. Ignea shifts back into his dragon form and leaves the harbor. The other fairy tale mages gather around Natsu, who initially refuses to eat Ignea's flames. After some scolding from his teammates, he finally agrees. Energized by the flame's power, Natsu jumps at Merkphobia, landing a solid hit on the water dragon god. He follows up with a series of powerful attacks and manages to toss Merkphobia by the tail. However, Lucy says she feels a bit of fear at Natsu's new power. Merkphobia unleashes a powerful roar, but Natsu counters with his Fire Dragon King's brilliant flame. Natsu calls on his friends for help so they can use the power of friendship to defeat Merkphobia. Gray and Urza charge forward enchanted with Dragon Slayer seals and strike Merkphobia's legs. Natsu lands a powerful demolition fist, causing Merkphobia to collapse. Caramel and the townsfolk mourn for the water dragon god, feeling this might be for the best. Natsu insists he must turn every part of the dragon to ash, which shocks everyone. Just as he's about to strike again, Lucy hugs him from behind while enduring the intense heat radiating from him. She gently tells him it's over while holding him close as they both sink to their knees. This is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more anime recap videos.